Hey guys, and welcome to week 3 of the Sketchbook Slam Challenge. This is my weekly update. I'm trying to stay on track, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm actually on track now that I think about it. I think I'm a couple days under because I'll have to do one more video and I'm not done until October 5th. So it's not honestly a true third week. Tuesday would be the third week. Okay, so that's where it is. I'm a couple days behind because I decided to upload on Sunday after I started the challenge as opposed to the following Tuesday when I started the challenge. Anyway, semantics. So, this week I have been doing my absolute best to just kind of keep my nose to the sketchbook, get everything done. I've been catching up very, very slowly. I'm still about 100 sketches behind where I'm supposed to be. Oh, but what can you do? Life, you know. I still gotta find that job because I got bills to pay. But I am keeping up and I'm finding that I am getting faster. I've gone back to my ballpoint pen and things are going pretty good. I'm pushing myself to do different things like sequences and that's been making me happy. And I've also picked up a couple like of my own personal like simplified stuff to do as opposed to doing things that, you know, I'm trying really hard not to fall back too much on fan art because I almost feel like, well, I don't see that there's anything wrong with it personally. I just, not a huge component of doing fan art when I have the opportunity is what I'm saying to work on my own stuff, which is what this has been for me, is a huge opportunity to work on my own stuff. So let's go ahead and get started since this is going to be a while. I do have quite a few sketches. So we left off here last week with Emmy. Okay. And there is some fan art, and I'll explain that a little bit. I did a chibi comic here with Piper and Alejo. Again, light is a little bit too bright, isn't it? These little comics actually help me to sequence more, and borrowing other people's characters sometimes just kind of helps me to get into the mood to draw. So I did, and I like the ship, so whatever. So there is some fan art in here, but you know, I try to keep it to a minimum as much as possible. So I did a little bit of sequencing here, went back to using my marker and stuff here. These are actually, let me see. I got them right here. These markers right here, they're like $5 at Walmart. You get 18 of them. The problem is that they're felt and they run out of ink relatively quickly. But they don't leak through too terribly bad. They do kind of, but not too terribly bad. Continued on another quick doodle of Alejo because I was having fun. I was talking with Lex about this, which I'll have her stuff linked. I forgot to do it last week. I'm going to have her stuff linked in the description below. So guys, go check her out. She's an amazing artist and she deserves a lot more attention than what she gets. So I'll have her DA linked below. But I just went ahead and borrowed him there. And then I just continued on with more doodles. I did a kissing meme. And this is Lex's character. Lex, so Piper and Alejo, Emmy and Piper, yada yada yada. So this is just how I've been getting inspiration to keep drawing, as I've been doing memes and stuff, and people can request what I draw, and from there I just kind of go on and draw it. It helps to keep me busy, honestly, because I run out of ideas relatively quickly. I'm just getting a sticky note ready because there is some nudity in this week's thing. I did some bad sketching here. This is just awful anatomy and sizing and everything. This is just bad. And then I forced myself to redo it from a different perspective, and it turned out a lot better. Cherry makes tons of appearances in here. I started doing Pirate Cherry, and I'm obsessed with Pirate Cherry now. A little bit more character development, a little bit more Piperisms, a little bit more Cherryisms. Oh, yeah, just some dialogues here, more doodles, some Ants. Ants is actually a fairly popular character, I'm starting to find. My marker started running out too. Another Piper, or not Piper, but Cherry with her hair down, which you guys don't get to see very often. Then I started using red pencil with a purple pencil over top, so I could do the underlines as, undersketch as sort of looser, and then refine the sketch on top. But that kind of makes it more of a drawing, and I mean, you could do drawings, you could do sketches, you could do whatever you want, as long as you meet the criteria, but at the same time, it's like if you waste your time like doing this sort of thing, which it kind of is a waste of time, you're gonna fall behind like I did. Someone asked for some Prince tours, which I did. Philip made an appearance. Thea made an appearance. This is Ursula, who's Sakura Heart's character. Human Cherry. And then I think I came up with a name for her, but I don't quite remember what it is. So that new other character that I created. Andrew. Just more using lyrics from Heather's to do artwork. Some more Alexander. Then I started doing some sequences that I eventually do want to incorporate into the plotline of my own comic. So I just kind of scribbled those out real quick and some dialogues. I'm having fun doing a lot of expression work. It makes it really, really enjoyable. I'm good at expressions though, so yeah, I put my own ships in here. Quick little Theo over here that I just kind of Plague Mouse, should there ever be a plague. Did another Alejo fan art with Piper like a Jane and Alejo like a Tarzan sort of thing. This is Big Bat and I don't know her name. I've been using the app Posemania, and so I'll find certain poses and just put my characters in it just so I can get the drawings done. So that's basically where some of these just single pose pages are coming from, is I see a pose that I particularly like, so I reference it and just kind of do it. So it's a good app. The website's even better because they have more, they have a 3-dimensional rotation tool on the website. So if you guys are ever having trouble with anatomy, that's a good resource for you. This was an excellent, excellent Pirate Cherry that it turned out so well. I was very happy with it. Like, super happy with this one. That was just bad anatomy, whatever. Another cherry. And I started using highlighters at this point because I was running out of marker. Can't turn the page. When Cherry boops you, it means she likes you. Just so you guys know. I did a Seamus here, stretching. Again, the images from Posemania. Now, male anatomy is actually where I struggle the most with, so I'm trying to kind of force myself to do a little bit more of that. This right here would be Amy from the Duckverse, but the anatomy is a little bit off here. Samuel's wife, she doesn't have a name either yet. Alexander, male anatomy. Another Pirate Cherry. Everyone's making fun of her hips, but I like her big hips. Someone had asked earlier if his name is going to be Brutus, I think, if Cherry ever fights him, and she does, and it doesn't go well, but whatever, we don't talk about that. This is just kind of like a concepting out here, just sort of scenes that I eventually want to hit when it comes to Cherry's background story. Did a quick Bunny Piper, but it turned out Ickums. This is the manager of the ring that Cherry hangs out at to sell her wares and goods and services. This was just a cute little idea I had for Alexander and Poppy, because I never really show them interacting, but they do interact. So, and they actually get along very, very well. So, I don't know, I should draw them together more. Ada. There's some in here that I'm trying to keep an eye on. Another Ada, because I felt like she wasn't getting enough representation. Again, a pose from Posemania as I just kind of threw it together. This is where I started using ballpoint pen again to save on my sketch time. Tried to do a pirate Ada. She doesn't look good as a pirate. Yeah, she really doesn't look good as a pirate. This is just a picture. I don't know. It's like an anime-esque inspired picture of Cherry squaring off with Piper, you know, with her tits, because whatever, that's how they do it. I don't know. Very anime inspired. Thea as a pirate, I guess, kind of. She's more of like a drunken wench, but whatever. This is Sergio. Again, this is a character by Lex Gallagher. So yeah. This right here was inspired by a song, Hold Me by, I can't think of her name now. But I was looking up, like, World War II era songs, and I was thinking, like, World War II Nurse Piper, she's got to do something, and so she just kind of sings and dances by herself, whatever, she has her fun. And then I was like, okay, so Vlad's going to have to, like, catch her in the act or something. So this is sort of like a little chibi comic response to it. I thought it was cute. I was tired. Yawning Piper. This is Anne's. The anatomy on this is so bad, but I came up with this concept of coming up with jobs for everybody, and Anne's is to stand up in the tree and lasso birds that are trying to go in to steal the larvae and the little caterpillars. So that's his job, is he literally sits up in a tree and does kamikaze lasso missions and like tries to ground birds or, you know, hang birds or whatever it is. It's very, very gruesome, but he's good at it because he did the whole scorpion thing. I don't know. Alexander, I decided that his job is going to be cocoon repair and incubation, stuff like that. And then Andrew's job is basically he's ground patrol, so any birds that get past Anne's, Andrew has to deal with. And then, like, I did this cute little thing. This shows his personality quite a bit. He's sitting there feeding, like, these caterpillars that he knows are going to be food and everything. Like, I'm trying to show more of, like, his actual heart and stuff. Because people, like, he is, like, outwardly a very cruel individual. But he does have good points to him, so. Just not when it comes to Piper. Piper's job and everything, and then I was thinking about this cute idea, and I saw this on Mouse Guard, and I believe I saw Becca Hilburn do something similar with her 7-inch carrot comic, but they used the leaves as like little sun hats to protect them from the sun. Sorry, I'm fidgety today. I'm trying to stand up more because I've been sitting so much. Emmy's job, seamstress, obviously. Seamus is a foreman and gets gruff. Oliver's the head butler. Cherry, she doesn't need a job, she just beats people up. And then I just kind of segued off into just doing whatever. Wanted to do more of a present day Emmy. Okay, I'm just sticking out for the next one. Okay, so we've got Poppy here taking a break from the kitchen because the kitchen is hot. So she's just kind of outside cooling off a little bit. And then we got nude Ada here, which of course I'm going to censor because YouTube. This is Brutus and Cherry fighting. I tried to do a sassy looking Piper. She just looks like me. My drinking buddies, Andrew and Alexander. Emmy with like one of those little leaf hat thingy-mabobbers. I was planning out the kitchen dining area for the servants' quarters. Then I was plotting out directional stuff for the actual layout of the house that Samuel owns. Little kid Piper, little kid Emmy, little kid Andrew, and then Piper singing That Would Be Enough from Alexander's soundtrack. This is a cute little couple's picture of Seamus and Emmy, and then this is a cute little couple's picture which I've showed in my vlog and everything. I'm very proud of this one of Vallejo and Piper just because I dig them. Cute little couple's picture of Poppy and Henry, and then I tried to do a cute little picture of Anne's and Piper, but his facial anatomy is awful and the pink doesn't look good with the red. I should actually be using yellow. Tried to do a backwards pose thingamabobber of Anne's putting his hair up. Poppy waiting for the oven to ding. And then this is Nick, who's one of Sakura Heart's characters too. And then I decided to do some scenery with Samuel's wife, and I still don't have a name for her. I tried to do another couple's picture of Anne's and Piper, and it just didn't work out. Then I moved on to expressions, and more expressions. This one happens to be one of my favorites. Did a little bit more plotting out as far as scene and planning for like scenes within my comic would go. Piper in night gear. I don't know why. This would be Philip and the rat guy that I showed earlier. I don't have a name for him yet. Poppy with an acorn cap with acorn mush in it. And then I decided I needed to start plotting some food that they would actually be eating. So I made up a bunch of foods to sort of explain, you know, the dietary stuff like mouse food. And then it started getting more and more detailed as I got excited about it. I want to render, like especially like this one right here, I want to render out digitally once this is all done and I have time. And then I went into bat food, and the bat food versus the mouse food, like mouse food is primarily vegetarian with some meat, bat food is primarily meat with some vegetarian, just because. And then I like have this whole sweets system planned out. It's going to be amazing. And then I decided I needed to explore Henry a little bit more because he's the primary cook. He's in the kitchen all the time. So working on him, and Poppy, because Poppy is his assistant in the kitchen. So I needed to work on them a little bit. Piper holding a gun. Again, this is like the whole Alejo ship thing that he would like want her to learn how to shoot, I would assume. But Piper and guns just don't mix. Little bit of a drunk Piper here because why not? I was bored. I don't know how lassos work, guys, so forgive that. I'm researching it, and I probably will do more with it. But Anne's trying to lasso a swallow going in, which amazingly was easy for me to draw a swallow, but I couldn't figure out how to get the rope to work correctly. Poppy and Cake. Just kind of like a little pinup of Pirate Cherry. A little bit more scenery, explanations. Another Pirate Cherry. This is the gun response about her learning how to shoot. Because, again, I talked about this in my vlog, how a lot of girls, when they first shoot, they don't realize that they have to hold the butt of the rifle, like, straight up against their shoulder, but not against their collarbone sort of thing. Well, Piper's holding it, like, far away, so when the gun recoils, it tags her eye really good. She learns. This was, like, a 2-page spread. I saw this really fancy doodle, or not doodle, but coat, 1800s coat, and I put Anne's in it, and then there's Piper. Now, she should be a little bit smaller, but whatever. This, I'm not quite sure where I was going with. But by this point, I was spent. I had drawn, like, so much that day. So I had to go into something a little bit more simple. And I realized I don't have very many cute things, cute, simple things to draw. So I made the little gumdrop mice. And I did, like, a couple pages of just, like, little gumdrop mice. Then I was like, alright, I'm ready to do something serious. I was going to do, like, Thea in, like, I wanted to say sort of like bomber girl gear, but like sort of like with a 1950s feel, but I failed miserably, so whatever, I scrapped it. So then I started doing gumdrop bunnies because whatever, he's so fat, I love him, he's so cute. Then I did a few more clothing studies, and then I had this great idea to do a sequence of Cherry pole vaulting because I woke up with this idea because I dream in cartoons. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but I had this idea of Cherry being told she can't go like on this raid from one ship to another, so she grabs a stick and she pole vaults over to the ship she's not supposed to be going on to so she can get a head start. So I researched pole vaulting and I got some shots, and then I just sort of made these quick little sequences of her managing to get over, landing, and then going on her little rampage. So I'm very proud of these few pages because it's hard for me to bring myself to do sequences because you have to really have a well thought out sequence or else it just turns to crap really, really quickly. So I was very proud of that and how it turned out. Then I did some more expressions, and then I did some gumdrop chickens because I have chickens. And then it started going downhill because I just wasn't in the drawing mood. So I got Anne's, who's like tiny compared to Piper, and helping her out, like his waist is like way too high up. But this is what happens when you start to get burnt out, is you start making these little mistakes and then you start really, really hating it, but you just got to keep going. I was using like the highlighters, and I realized that they're too extreme in color and they seep through the page too much, so my blue highlighter is pretty much dead, and I'm sad about that, so I can't really use anything else. Did a quick Andrew. Piper with a little, they're called woolly bear caterpillars here, so that's what I call them. And then there's Andrew over here, of course, being all real with Piper, reminding her that her good little boy, her little woolly bear boy, is going to be dinner, and it breaks her heart. And then I started looking up wild edibles in Michigan to sort of incorporate into the story things that the mice could make or gather on their own. And then there's the giant puff mushrooms, which Piper would just go nuts for because they're literally just gigantic mushrooms. Little Anne's and Piper kissing scene, her mouth is way off. Emmy and Seamus scene where he's just going on and on about all the children that they're going to have, and it's like their first date. More expressions, Piper having a tantrum, I love it. This was a request last night to put Ada in like 1930s swimwear. Poppy got kicked out of the kitchen for eyeing the cake too hard, so now she has to pull leeks. Cherry's response to being insubordinate and getting yelled at. I don't know who's yelling at her. I love this expression right here of Piper because it's so rare. Just a couple more Pipers. And then this right here is just Poppy yelling that she wanted her cake, and yeah. And that's it, guys. So I'm my battery's about to die, so I'm trying to hurry. So, like I said, I'm still quite far behind. I have a long way to go, but I am working my butt off to try and catch up. I think I'll still be able to make my deadline. I think I averaged it out. If I get like 28 to 30 pages done a night, I'll easily make my deadline. So I think I'll be able to do it. I'm not terribly worried about it. And if I don't, I'm still not terribly worried about it because I'm actually getting quite a bit done here. I mean, this is a crap ton of drawing in a very short amount of time. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, so thanks guys for all the support. Thank you guys so much for all the kind comments. I've been trying to find people who are doing this challenge to follow them as well, so we could kind of be like, go, go, go. So let me know in the comments below if you guys are doing this challenge. I would love to see what you... And I didn't make it. My battery died. Anyway, I would love to see what you guys are doing. And how you guys are approaching this particular challenge. It is a very, very difficult challenge. I mean, there's no question about it. You have to have a lot of inspiration. You have to have a lot of drive in order to sit down and do this amount of work in one day. But I feel like people, if they put forth the effort, are quite capable of doing it. And everyone's approaching this challenge just a little bit differently. Some people are doing one sketch per page. Some people are doing multiple sketches per pages, etc., etc., etc. So I'm just kind of curious. So yeah, either way. So let me know in the comments below, like I said. And if you guys are doing it, then, you know, I wish you the best of luck. Continue going. I've got until October 5th. So there's still some time to catch up. And I'm super excited about it still because I feel like once I get my groove going, I do very, very well with this particular stuff. I'm just... I might switch back over to the pencil for a while just to kind of give my poor ballpoint pens a break. But we'll see. Anyway, so that's about it. I can't really say anything else. So yeah, I will see you guys next week with another update. And after that, I won't be quite done with next week by next week's update. But after that, it would be the following Sunday would be the last update, which would be like the full go through all 600 pages sort of thing. So one more just update and then a final update. That's what we've got left. So 2 more weeks, guys. 2 more weeks. But alright, so I'm outie. I got sketching to do. Bye!